Hi everybody, my name is Naitali Asdin. I work in PEPRIM Institute. This talk is about variability in mechanical properties related to porosity in LMD wasp alloy. Uh, on this study, you can read the name of my colleague Samuel Emery, Patrick Vilches, Roland Fortuné, et Jonathan Cormier, and Romain Bordas, PhD student. Romain Bordas work more about experimental test, and this work is more about computational and morphology and statistic identification of this material. For the material, we work for this material. We work with Safran Aircraft Engine, Lucie Rai, and Sébastien Rix. The evolution of aircraft repair sector increase. You need to increase the repair rate, classically for economic issue, and you need to repair a very complex geometry of components. So a good choice can be additive manufacturing. That's why we use this process for repairing thin areas and complex geometry. So in this work, we want to study the effect of process and the link with microstructure. We want to quantify the porosity and the microstructure and the link with mechanical properties. So you can see here the sample and the optic view of in right you have a porosity. You can see, I hope, the layer of laser deposition. So we have two types of sample. One sample you can made on Z direction and another sample in Y direction. Like that, you can see in quick 2D analysis, you have a lot of porosity. This porosity seems aligned in Y direction here. And you can see two type of size of porosity. And the porosity seems to be very spherical. So you need to work in 3D to quantify more precisely all of this idea. So you make the tomography of the sample. The resolution is 1 voxel equal 10 micron. You have the size of sample here. So the first step is to segmented images, stack of images, and control the quality of segmentation. And after we can reconstruct 3D images of this sample. You can see here you have two population of porosity, and the porosity seems very spherical. So we develop image processing suite to quantify the number of porosity, the size of two populations. For that, we labelized images and the porosity. We can, for instance, we can see for the sample made in Z direction, you have some homogeneous distribution of porosity, but in Y direction, you have the porosity seems aligned again. So if you see if we labelize the porosity with Z position, you can see here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 layer of pore. Now we want to quantify and describe more precisely the morphology and distribution of porosity. So the number of pores by sample is approximately 1,000. The volume fraction is 0.2%, and we have a very spherical porosity. The volume 2, you can define. We have two population of pore. Small pore, it's bigger. The number of small pore is bigger, and some bigger pore. Now we want to interest to distribution of porosity, and we want to know if this distribution is stochastic or periodic or something else. So the first idea is to compute the density of porosity in each direction. You can see here when you calculate the density of porosity, you can see you have some periodicity of density, some peaks in Z direction, and in other direction you have no peaks, or it's not clear. So to quantify clearly this property, we can use covariograph. Covariograph, it's useful for image analysis. So we use the fast Fourier transform to determine the different parameters. So the definition of covariograph, it's right here, this equation. It's the probability to be on one porosity, and the probability in the same time your position plus h on one direction to be on porosity 2. With that, it's like a 2-point correlation process. So with that, we can determine some property. I resume here some property. You can determine the volume fraction, the correlation length. With correlation length, you can determine the morphologic RVE. The repulsion distance, it's like the average of distance between two pores. And ergodicity. With ergodicity, it means if your distribution is homogeneous or not. And in periodic case, you can estimate the frequency. So in our case, we compute the 3D covariograph. I show just in Y and Z direction. You can see the correlation length is the same on all direction. It's approximately 26 voxels. So the morphological RVE size is 2 times correlation length, so it's 52 power 3 voxels. We can compute you can determine the frequency of porosity distribution in Z direction. It's 102 voxels. And in Y direction, it's 71 voxels. You can 1 voxel equal 10 micron. This size corresponds to the size of layer in a laser deposition. Now we can estimate the effect of this frequency in RVE size, mechanical RVE. Here we have just the morphological RVE. We want to determine the mechanical RVE. For that, I use Foxtrot. It's a homemade software. Use fast Fourier transform, a spectral solver. So we construct a different size of cube. For the first cube, we are without porosity. It's a reference. That's why the effective modulus divided by the material modulus equal 1. And I increase this cube, and we have some stabilization after for the size equal 150 power 3. That it corresponds to the RVE for elastic case with porosity. So we can see here the elastic RVE, it's bigger than morphological RVE. Now we can test the same things with crystal elasticity. So for that, Samuel made the EBSD mapping. So we can, with that, we can know the texture and the average size of grains. So this type of microstructure, it's too complicated to know the influence of crystal orientation, because you have too much parameters, different size of grains, texture, etc. That's why we generate aqueous polycrystal with the same average grain size and no texture. That's why you can like that we can separate the effect of texture and grain size, the gradient of grain size, and we compute that with porosity. This polycrystal, it's with it's a lot of grain and a lot of voxel approximately. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so it's the same idea for mechanical RVE, first mechanical RVE. So the smaller RVE size, it's with that porosity, and we increase with real porosity distribution. Okay, that is just a crop of real sample. You can see for this case, the RVE, it's bigger than homogeneous material. So we have RVE of 200 power 3 voxels. So we have a real effect of crystal in mechanical point of view. Okay. So now we know we want to know why this difference. So we want to know where is the hotspot, if hotspot is near to porosity, or what is the orientation of hotspot. For that, we compute elastic crystal elasticity simulation with porosity here and without porosity, and I make the difference like that. We can see where we can highlight the effect of porosity. So here, after that, we study the hotspot position. You can see here, sorry, the hotspot is near to porosity, and you have some connectivity of stress. So now we want to know the orientation of this hotspot. So clearly, the hotspot here, it's near to porosity, but not all porosity. Some porosity. So the texture of this hotspot, it's compliant grains because its loading direction it's Y, and not hard grains. That's why not all porosity generate hotspots. And you can see here, but it's clearly, I think, it's the average stress by grain increase with the surface ratio. Here you can see it's generally the bigger pore, generate hotspots. So in conclusion, you have with this process we have a high porosity with this manufacturing parameters. You have two populations: random distribution, non-random distribution of large pore. So you can control with the size or the size of layer. For example, we can control not the distribution, but the number, I think. Large sphericity of large pore. We have determined the morphological and mechanical RVE. It's important to consider the crystal orientation. And for the future work, we complete that with EVP computation and with the real texture and the real grain morphology. So thank you